What's going on? It's another episode of the I'm Not a Hater podcast coming live to you today. We're gonna call this one Spring Break, and we're just gonna talk about a number of things that's going on in the world. Once again, things that's going on in the community, and give you some words of positivity as we transition through progress through life. It's not gonna be a long episode, but it'll be something that we can get into, we can talk about and have some fun with, and possibly learn something while we doing it. So first off, like I always start off, man, thanks, salute to everybody that's been paying attention. Been listening to the podcast or viewing the podcast in different times and spaces. I definitely appreciate it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We still trying to learn and still trying to grow at this time. So I definitely appreciate everybody who's spreading the word as well. Um, Salute to y'all always. Man, spring break. I've been waiting for this one for a minute. I have been working extremely hard. I'm gonna talk about myself for a minute. I've been working extremely hard at work, and not just myself, but others too. And this spring break has been one of relaxation, one of basically what you could say like opportunity to just kind of reflect and see what we've done so far in the school year, and kind of you can see the finish line at this point. And I'm looking forward to June. Not gonna sit here and lie. But at the same time, like just realizing that this is kind of like the first year I've had to extremely push myself. This spring break was needed. It was necessary, and with that, it's kind of like I welcomed it. I was ready for it. Now, most times I'm kind of like, it's spring break. Do a couple things during the week or whatever, just chill. But this time, just taking the opportunity to kind of recharge and get ready for the finish line of the school year. That's the most important thing. And I would say that to like all my school employee friends and people out there in social media land. If you are a school employee and you are on spring break or you already had it, I hope you took the time to relax, recharge, get yourself together, and kind of just get ready for, like I said, the finish line, because that's coming. And the kids are coming back. So, 100% come that Monday or whenever you start back, and just be ready for it. But just know that the finish line is there. So and just remain positive about everything that's could happen or going to happen. I know it's a lot going on in the world. The Department of Education has been dismantled or is being dismantled. So that's like a scary time for a lot of people in education, including myself. But at the same time, still trying to remain positive about what's going to happen in the future with the state of education. And that's not an easy thing to do because obviously the things that we are used to as the the things that are in place for education are being dismantled right in front of our faces, and we have to adapt and kind of make good on the promises we made to these children as educators. Still, we still have to do that regardless of um, what's happening with the country at hand. The DEI practices being eliminated. I see that Connecticut is not going to um, follow suit with what the government has proposed. So in some cases, that's a win for our African American and Brown students. Um, they are able to continue to and learn about the things that are necessary to help them have a great education. Now, I'm gonna be real about certain things I see in education. This No Child Left Behind thing, I want them to stop that. Okay, I have seen over time that many students that I know and have watched are being passed along, and they don't have any skills. There's a young lady that is suing the Harvard Board of Education right now because she was passed along from, kindergarten to 12th grade. She didn't know how to read or write. Was functionally illiterate. She made it to college through the help of many people, guidance counselors and such, but she did not know how to read and write. And that is a serious problem. I see too many students today who are reading below grade level, working below grade level, and they're allowed to go on to these grades and they don't have any functional skills. Now, that has to stop. If we're gonna stop anything, stop that. Because when they get into the real world, college, real life, etc., they don't have the skills necessary to do the things that they need to do in this world. We set them up for failure. But so like I was saying, like, you know, they don't have the skills to functionally keep them at a high level, especially in the public school system. We allow these kids to come in, they don't do any work or little to no work at all. They just keep going to the next grade, next grade, next grade, next grade. And then the parents catch on to it, catch a hold of it, and it's obviously too late at that point. They're long gone, they're out of our hands, and we move on to the next crop and do the same thing over and over again. So we need to cut that part out. Like, stop passing these kids along if they don't have the skills. There's nothing wrong with keeping them back. To be completely honest, keep them back so they learn the skills. Yes, it's going to be a lot on the teachers who have to teach them, but that's what you got into it for. You got into it to teach them how to do these skills and do these things necessary. There's nothing wrong with keeping them back, nothing wrong with holding them back so they know what they need to know. You know, obviously put a cap on it, like 1 year or so. And then if they don't, have it, suggest some other places or some other tutoring or something that the parents can do with those kids at that point in time to ensure that they have the skills. It just can't be at school. I say this constantly. I've been saying it for the last couple of years. It has to be at home too. You can't just rely on the school for 7 hours or 7.5 hours. You have to do your part at home. And that goes for me as well. I'm not just talking as an educator, I'm talking as a parent. If they gotta read for 10 minutes, put your timer on, make sure they read for 10 minutes. Try to go beyond that, 15, so forth and so on. Just make sure that they're doing the things necessary to become bright and smart students. Because the world already has them pegged as one thing, but you want to show them that they can do something different. All right. And I'm gonna get off that topic because I could be on that for a long time. In the community, it's a lot going on. Obviously, like I talked to you last time I was on podcast. Community voices for the community. Their organization, they're still out there doing good things in the world, major things out there. Help them out, give them a leg up if you can. Brother Floyd could definitely use the support, like I always say. And I've been behind the scenes doing some supporting for him. Like I said, he's been on this podcast a few times. But again, they're fighting that battle still with the cemetery. And like I said, if you have loved ones there, if you have people who have loved ones there, just alert them of what's going on. They are struggling to get the funding necessary to clean up the cemetery. It's been actually taken away from them at this point. It's been given to the city to do something. So if hold the city responsible, hold the city of Hartford responsible. Make sure that they actually do clean up the cemetery with that money. Brother Floyd was trying to do a great thing for the people, including his family members that are buried in that cemetery. He's trying to do a great thing by cleaning it up. Obviously, they didn't trust that he could do it at that point in time, but they've given it to the city. But hold the city accountable. Don't let them just get the money and not do anything with it or put it somewhere else or allocate it somewhere, other funds or something like that. Just make sure they stay with the main thing being the main thing, taking care of that Spring Grove Cemetery in Hartford, Connecticut. And that's just, that's just facts. That's just the truth, to be completely honest.
It's so bright.
So, going to set this up, it is bright, isn't it? It is bright because the sun is out. So this guy wants to come back. He want to talk.
Oh.
Sorry. He want to talk about some stuff. I don't know. What you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Well, how's your spring break going, bud?
Bit good.
What you do so far?
Went to the mall.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Went to Five Below.
Okay.
Went to see Minecraft.
Yeah. And has it been fun so far? Do you have a good time?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, what else you looking forward to doing with like the time that's left over on spring break?
The mall.
That's it? You just want to go back to the mall?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You sure? That's all? Just
Yeah.
the mall? You don't want to do nothing else?
No.
Okay.
Can I go back to my game now?
Sure. You asked to be in the video. I'll let you go back. All right. And, finally, like I always do, I said this wasn't going to be long. It's really just, something to pop in during the spring break time. But finally, just to let y'all know, positive word, a positive affirmation, or just a word of encouragement for this time period. So, you're going to have people, right, that expect you to do a number of things or be wonderful at all times. And that's very, it's true. It happens. People are going to make you feel like you have to do everything for them, right? But at the same time, you may think it's going to be reciprocated. Sorry. Not all the time is it going to be reciprocated, but you have to trust the process. Trust that what you're doing is right. Trust that, what you're doing is accepted and appreciated and loved. And if you feel like it isn't, then you shouldn't continue to do it, because it's just gonna make you look crazy. It's just gonna drive you crazy. It's gonna make you look like a fool. And with that being said, this is the I'm Not a Hater podcast, featuring your favorite not hater, Mr. Brown. Please, like I said, tune in. Please watch all the old episodes. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Just do it. And I'll see you soon. Peace and love.